evening, gentlemen. I've got some news for you, appalling news. We're to be visited by an inspector.
An inspector? An inspector?
A government inspector with secret orders traveling incognito.
A government inspector? With secret orders? Oh God, he's incognito.
I had a feeling of impending bother. All last night I was dreaming about these weird rats. 2 rats, giants, both of them. 2 giant black rats, and they came in and they sniffed. Sniffed everything, everywhere, everyone. They sniffed. And then they went away. Giants, both of them. And then, this morning, plunk on my mat, there's a letter from Andre. You know him, don't you, Artemy? Anyway, here's what he said. He said, "My dear friend, godfather, and benefactor, also I rush to warn you that an inspector has been sent with instructions to investigate the whole province, but especially our district. I've been tipped off by an unimpeachable source. Now, I know you're human, and we all have our little failings, and you're not one to turn up your nose with the odd gift horse, wherever it may drop from. All in this together, aren't we? So you'd best get cracking. In fact, he may manifest himself in the town at any moment. He may be in town already. Incognito. Last Friday night, well, the rest was just family gossip. My sister Anna came to save her gloomy husband, weighs 18 stone, Austrian rubbish from the fiddle, etc., and so on. And there you have it.
And it's unusual, decidedly unusual, insignificant. But why investigate our little town? Why should St. Petersburg care what we get up to?
Why, indeed. So far, thank God, they've been using their fine-tooth combs on other towns. But now, the finger of fate is pointing at us.
I think I perceive a subtle political motive. Russia's been preparing to wage war, so an agent's been sent to root out any subversive.
Don't be daft. This isn't a frontier town. You could ride from here for 3 years and never encounter a foreign country. Thank God.
I'm not so sure. The authorities may be a long way off, but they've got eyes in the back of their heads. They've got dossiers on everyone. Everyone.
True. Maybe they have, and maybe they haven't. At this very moment, the inspector may be fingering our records behind our backs. As far as my department goes, law and order and general amenities, I've already sprung into action, and you'd all better follow suit. And that goes double for you, Artemy. This inspector is bound to go over your hospital with a magnifying glass and gimlet eyes. Get those patients of yours looking half decent. They look like blacksmiths and stink like fishmongers.
I could have their nightcaps laundered.
Right. And there should be some way of telling which patient is which and what they've got. State signs on the beds, in Latin or some foreign language. That's your line, Dr. Gibner. Name of patient, when admitted, name of disease, likely to die or not. Hey, and stop those patients of yours smoking such strong tobacco, dark brown spittle everywhere. And check out the ones that aren't that ill. 2 to a bed looks bad, even if it does keep them warm. The inspector will think we've got a useless doctor.
Oh, as far as doctoring goes, don't worry about Dr. Gibner. He believes in nature cures. Time is a great healer. We never use expensive drugs. Man's a simple creature. If he's going to die, he's going to die, and vice versa. Anyway, Dr. Gibner doesn't waste his valuable time chattering to the patients. They couldn't understand him if he did. Even for a German, Russian is worse than normal. Das habe ich schon gesagt!
And you others, take a look at that courthouse of yours. The porters are keeping geese in the vestibule, the geese are having goslings, and the public keep tripping over the goslings. I know it's patriotic to keep poultry, but there's a time and a place.
Right. I'll have them shifted to the kitchen today. Would you care to drop round for dinner tonight?
And another thing, that judge's office of yours, not exactly a shining example of the majesty of the law. Bear skins nailed up to dry in the oak paneling, riding crops muddled up with the writs and summonses. I know you like hunting, but can't you clear your equipment away? This inspector's been and gone.
Absolutely.
And that clerk of yours, clever as they come, I grant you, but he smells like a distillery. I've imagined it before, but it slipped my mind. Make him chew raw onions and garlic. Or maybe Dr. Gibner could give him something?
Saint-Cyrique.
Can't do much about that clerk. He says his nurse dropped him on the head as a baby, and ever since he's had this slight aroma of vodka.
All right, just thought I'd mention it. Now, listen, we all have our little failings. As my friend Andre put it, I know you can't change human nature, but...
Well, there's human nature and there's a human nature.
Yes, and there's bribes.
Well, there's bribes and there's bribes. Everyone knows I only accept bourgeois puppies.
Puppies or rubles, a bribe is a bribe.
That's a bit strong. If someone feels like giving you a 500 ruble for a coat, or say an oriental shawl for your wife...
Oh, what do I care if you take bourgeois puppies? But you're an unbeliever. At least I'm in church. I'm a good Christian every Sunday. But you, when you question the creation, my hair stands on end, it really does.
I've come to certain conclusions about the creation of the world using my own brain.
There's such a thing as too much brain. Anyway, those bourgeois puppies won't save you if this inspector calls on your courthouse. Then it won't be the bourgeois, it'll be the bloodhounds. Right, Luca, you're supposed to be superintendent of schools, so it's up to you to do something about those peculiar teachers of ours. I know they're a brainy bunch, educated in all sorts of places, but they're as odd as saber-toothed reindeer. Take that geography teacher, for instance. 3 years at the school and he still has to ask his way home? And the math teacher with that big fat face pulls horrible faces all the time, like this. Now, if he were to pull a face at a student, it might be all right. Could be a new teaching method, and I wouldn't know. But what if he did this? At the inspector!
Can't do much with him. When we had that royal visit last month, he pulled a face like a walrus and seemed to get stuck with it. And I got told off for encouraging him to be a free thinker.
Try and make him stay home. Hide his pony. And that history teacher, I heard it once. He knows his stuff, grant me, but he's as mad as a meat axe. He was all right, when he was going on about the Assyrians and the Babylonians. Boring, but good. But when he started talking about Alexander the Great, he went berserk. You'd have thought there was a fire. He leapt up on his desk and smashed his chair, and then he asked for another chair and smashed it too, and pretty soon all the boys were asking for him for their chairs. Well, Alexander the Great was a distinguished monarch, but why smash chairs?
He does get carried away. I gave him a little lecture about it, and he just said, "You must do what you imagine is your duty, Superintendent, but I would gladly die on the battlefield of education."
Right, well, it's a strange world. Intellectuals are always a bit touched. They either get lost, or pull faces, or bust up the furniture.
God help anyone who goes in for teaching.
It'll be all right, if he wasn't coming incognito. At any moment, he may pop in and say, who's the judge in this town? Lieutenant Shepton? Step right this way, Lieutenant Shepton, and who runs the hospital? Oh, Zemlyanika, step right this way. It's very frightening.
What's up? What's all this about the inspector?
Haven't you heard?
Bob Chinsky mentioned it. He just dropped by the post office.
What do you make of it?
What do I make of it? I think it means war with Turkey.
Absolutely what I just said.
War with Turkey, all due to those bloody frogs.
War with Turkey, you're daft. War with us is more like it. We're gonna be blown up, not the Turks. That's what my letter said.
Oh, that's different. There'll be no war with Turkey.
What does it all mean, Postmaster? How do you feel?
Bewildered mostly. How about you?
I face the future with confidence, but I'm a bit worried about those local merchants of ours. They reckon I've been too demanding. Well, I may have encouraged them to give me little seasonal gifts, but I've been fair. For a police governor, I've been fair. Listen, I fancy someone sending a complaint about me. If not, why is this Petersburg snooper coming here? Look, can't you just take every letter that comes by your office and just steam it open a little and flip through it? Then if it's not denouncing anyone, you could seal it back up and have it delivered.
You don't have to tell me. Why do you think I keep the samovar going all day? I've been steaming for ages. Not just for security, mind. It's more that I like to know about current affairs and that. And I am partial to a good read, aren't you?
Anything in those letters about an inspector from St. Petersburg?
Nothing about inspectors from Petersburg, but plenty about officials from Kostroma and Saratov. It's a shame you haven't read those letters. Unputdownable, some of them. The other day, this army lieutenant wrote to his friend describing a ball, very playful style, very vivid. "I am, dear friend," he wrote to his friend, describe wallowing in the Elysian fields surrounded by young ladies with music playing and flags wagging. Oh, he described it with such feeling. That's one I kept. Would you like a read of it?
Oh, not now, Juan. But if you find a letter with any moans or accusations, don't hesitate. Violet.
My pleasure, Excellency.
You know they could really break you for this.
Oh, I wouldn't like that.
Nonsense. This isn't a public matter, just a private arrangement.
Well, remember, boiling water cools no chilblains. Actually, Anton, I was thinking about stopping around with a dog for you tonight. Sister to that dog you know. Have you heard that Cheptovich and Varchovinsky have started suing each other? Suits me. Now I can shoot hares on Cheptovich land one day and Varchovinsky's land the next.
I can't think about your hairs. My head's full of that incognito devil. You know, what really gets me is that all we can do is sit here and wait. Wait for the door to burst open.
Amazing news!
Incredible goings on.
What is it?
Out of the house!
The mind boggles. I pop into the inn.
And I pop into the inn with Dobchinski.
Let me tell them the story, Dobchinski.
No, let me do it. You can't tell a story like I tell a story.
You'll muddle it up. He muddles it up. You leave out all the best bits.
No, I'll put in the best bits, and the worst bits too. Leave it to me, Dobchinski.
But Dobchinski...
Oh, make him shut up!
For Christ's sake, let's have it. Bear my blood pressure. Take a seat, even. Now, what is all the fuss about?
Right. I'll start at the beginning, and then do the middle bit, and then finish up at the end. After you told me about your letter, after you were so upset, yes, I went and called him. Let me finish. I know everything. So I slipped over to Korobkin's, but he wasn't home. So I whipped over to Rostovsky's, but he was out. So I nipped over to the post office to tell Ivan your news, and coming out of there, who should I bump into but Dobchinski?
Right by the hot pie stall.
Right by the hot pie stall. So I said to Dobchinski, have you heard about the governor's letter? And he had from your housekeeper, Avdatia, down at the bottle shop. I don't know what she was doing there.
Fetching a keg to put French brandy in.
Fetching a keg to put French brandy in. Let me finish. So we toddled over to Pachachuya, and on the way Dobchinski said to me, why don't we drift into the inn? My stomach's been rumbling all morning. My stomach, that's Dobchinski's stomach. They've got some fresh salmon in, he said. We could have a little snack, he added. So there we were, ensconced in the inn, when a young man,
Very smart, but non-uniform.
very smart but not in uniform, was pacing around the room. He was thinking very deeply. You could tell by his face. Oh, his face, it was a study, a brainy face, very brainy. And I had this funny feeling, so I said to Dobchinski, something's up, you know? And he did know, because he called Blas, the landlord, over. Blas's wife produced 3 weeks back. What a bright little chap. He'll be like his father and run the bar someday. So we had a word with Blas, and Dobchinski put it to him very quietly. So, who's that young fella, eh? And Blas said, let me finish. You'll get it all wrong in any way you lisp and whistle through that gap in your teeth. So Blas said, that young man works for the government in Petersburg. Says he's off to Saratov. His name's Ivan Klestikov, and he's an odd customer. Been here 2 weeks, orders everything on tick, and never pays a kopeck. And when he said that, I realized. And I said to Dobchinski, I said, funny.
No, Dobchinski, I said it first. Funny, I said.
What? Well, perhaps you said funny first.
Funny.
So then we said, well, why is he sitting here if he's off to Saratov? This is the one, all right.
What one?
The one you had that letter about, the government inspector.
Oh my God, it's impossible, it can't be.
It must be. Hangs around town. Never pays cash. Who else could it be? And he's got someone with him.
Who's with him?
His manservant, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But this Klestikov, he's got eyes like gimlets. Nothing escapes him. He even noticed that we were eating salmon because of Dobchinski's stomach, you know? And he came over to our table, and he scrutinized our plates. I was petrified.
Oh my God, what room did they put him in?
Number 5, under the stairs.
The one where those Cossacks had that fight last year.
2 weeks? The inspector's been here for 2 weeks, dear Christ! In 2 weeks, the sergeant's wheels been flogged, the prisoners haven't been fed, the streets are full of ice and rubbish and beggars, the whole town's like a snow of wolf tires will destroy me!
Well, shall we go and see him as a group?
Oh no. There are some ordeals that a man must face alone. I've been through rough times in the past, but I've always survived. With God's help, of course. Perhaps. He's a young chap, is he?
About 23, 24 at most.
Right. The younger they are, the easier they are to manipulate. The older they get, the harder. Gentlemen, get your own affairs in order. I will go alone. Or perhaps with Dobchinski. Yes, I will go with Dobchinski and see how he entreats visitors to our town. System up. Go and fetch the police inspector. Oh, no. I'll be needing you. Go and fetch someone else to fetch the police inspector and then get back here.
Let's be off. We've all got a few things to tidy up, I suppose.
Not so bad for you. A few clean nightcaps for your patients, and you're sledding on greased runners.
Nightcaps are easy, but the whole hospital reeks of cabbage soup.
Well, I don't suppose he'll deign to poke his nose into my courthouse. Too bad if he does, of course. There's a cupboard marked official court reports, but it's all
stuffed animals?
Well, yes.
Ah, right. Where's Constable Prokhorov?
Laid up, sir, unfit for duty.
What do you mean?
Staggered in this morning, dead drunk, Your Excellency.
Oh my God! Get out in the street! No! Go upstairs and fetch my sword and my new hat. Right, Dobzhinsky, let's be off.
Me too, bring me too.
No, it'd begin to look like a deputation.
No, I wouldn't come in, I'd miss the keyhole.
Ah, right. Get some women with snow shovels to scoop a road between here and the inn. Oh, look. My grand sword of office all tarnished. That wily old merchant, Absalom, he was meant to polish it up. He probably forgot my mistake on purpose. Tradesman! I got them today. Let's look complaints about me right now. Get them to clear that damn snow. And watch how Constable's fist enough, because I know you. Not above slipping a little cutlery into our jackboots, are we? Go on. Watch out. Ah, Seth! There you are. Where have you been hiding?
At the gates, watching out for trouble.
The trouble's been inside the gates for the past 2 weeks. And inspectors here from Petersburg. What have you done about it?
Like you told me, I sent Constable Prugovitsin out to perform a street sweeping party.
Where's Constable Derzhamorov?
Oh, out with Firefox, clearing the beggars.
Prokhorov's dead drunk. How did that happen?
God knows. Yesterday, there was a fight at the monastery. I sent him to sort it out, and he came back hammered.
Listen. Stick that tall Constable Prugovitsin up on the bridge. And make a good impression being so tall. Pull down that shabby old fence by the cobblers and stick some poles in the ground. Give him the idea something's being planned. The more we do, the more it'll look like enlightened civic government. Oh my God, I forgot. Everyone's been tipping rubbish over that fence for months. They're sorting cartloads of stinking garbage down there. Cover with snow or something. And if that inspector asks any of our constables any complaints, the only correct answer is no complaints at all, Your Excellency. And if any of them have got a complaint, I'll give them a complaint that's incurable. Oh God, get me through this, and I'll light you the biggest candle the world has ever seen. And each and every merchant will contribute a half-ton of wax. Let's go, Dobzhinsky.
That's the hat box, not the hat, Your Excellency.
Oh, to hell with hat boxes. And if that inspector asks why we haven't built that chapel, the one we raised the funds for a few years back, tell him we started building it, but it burnt itself down. I sent a report about it. Some report, I think. Oh, and get Constable Derzhamorov to go easy with his fists. He seems to think that justice consists of giving black eyes to everybody. Right, let's go, Dobzhinsky. And you, Dobzhinsky. Oh, and stop those soldiers from roaming around the streets half naked. Under their great coats, all they wear is their nightshirts. Don't ask me, for God's sake, how I know.
Where have they all got to? Where have they all gone? Anton! It's all your fault, Marianne, to know, with your fussing around and your whoops, there goes a hairpin and you can't find a scarf. Anton! Has he come then? Well, the government inspector, of course. Has he got a moustache? Well, what sort of moustache?
Oh, later, my dear, later!
Later? That's a revealing bit of news, isn't it? He's gone! I won't forget this, my girl. All your fault with your mother, wait a minute. Help me master myself up, mother. And so I waited a minute, and now we know nothing. Just because you heard the postmaster clumping around downstairs, you start preening in front of the mirror. You think he's after you, but you should see the faces he makes when your back's turned.
It doesn't matter much, Mother. We'll know all about everything in a couple of hours.
A couple of hours? Thank you very much. I am much obliged. And in a couple months, perhaps, we'll hear even more. Hey, Dobzhinsky! Come back here! What's he like, this inspector?
The governor didn't say. He's in an awful hurry.
Come back here at once! You should have stopped him and grabbed him and forced him to describe the man. Well, don't just stand there, listen! Run after the carriage. Hang on! Get after them and find out the lot.
Find out what?
What colour eyes he's got, black or otherwise, complexion, red, white or blue, and a full description of his moustache. then back here and report to me. Hurry, hurry, hurry!
Hunger's a terrible thing, you know. My belly's rumbling like a damn volcano, and the way things are going, we'll never get home. More than 2 months since we left St. Pete's. He's frittered and squandered for hundreds of miles, and now all he can do is go to ground in the capital city of nowhere. And he had plenty of cash, more than plenty, but everywhere we stayed, he had to come on like a millionaire. Hey, Ossip, run along and book a room, the best in town, and order me a 6 or 7 course meal. I can't digest cheap food. Be different if he was somebody. He's just a jumped up little clerk. Hasn't jumped up very far, now he's falling flat on his face. He meets a stranger, out comes a pack of cards, and he's done it again. It's the pattern, I'm sick of it. Really. I'd do better to settle down in the country. There's not much excitement, but there's not much trouble. You just find a woman, lie down by the stove, and spend your life eating hot pies. Hot pies! I will tell you the truth, you can't beat life in Petersburg. So long as you've got the cash, it's the height of civilization. Theater, opera, dancing dogs. They've got the lot. You saunter around the market stalls, everyone calls you honorable, sir. Cross on a ferry and you find you're rubbing shoulders with a government official, or an army officer wearing a golden medal will tell you anecdotes of life under canvas, or explain the meaning of every star in the sky. Or you may find yourself kissing the hand of an officer's wife, or a pretty young parlor maid may smile at you and serve you with salted cod. And there's never a crossword, never a dirty look in Petersburg. And if your feet are getting frayed, jump in a cab and sit back like a lord. And if you've got no money, that's all right. Every house has a side gate. You nip through and you've done the vanishing trick. But this is different. 6 or 7 course meals one week, fasting until bursting the next, like now. It's all his damn fault. His dad sends him money, but does he save it? No. He's out on the razzle. Cab rides, theater tickets, rings on his fingers, and bells on his... And next week, he sends you down to the pawn shop to pop his new tailcoat. Worth $150, but he'll pawn it to raise 20. And why? Because he's blowing off work, that's why. Because he should be down at the office totting up government accounts, but he's swanning down the boulevard, down a back street, and into a card game with a devil, a couple of vultures, and an octopus. If only your old dad could see you now. You may be a civil servant, but he'd civil serpent your ass till you couldn't. But knowing you, you'd play cards standing up. Just now, the landlord told me he wouldn't give me any more food till the bill's paid. Oh God, if you would only grant me some cabbage soup. I think I could eat the whole of Russia. With Japan for dessert.
Get out of my bed.
Oh, this is our bed.
It's my shift.
I'm only taking up the edge.
It's not your shift. You're absorbing the warmth of the bed. Oh, you're disheveling the sheets.
I can take a hint. I'll walk up and down. Lovely walking up and down warms the blood.
Oh, look in the basket. Maybe there's some tobacco left.
You smoked the last of it 4 days ago, before you tried smoking the cartons.
Hey, listen to me, Ossip.
What is it?
Ossip, I want you to go there.
Go where?
To the kitchen. Tell them that the gentleman in room 5 requires his lunch.
No, I'm not that keen on going.
But you're my servant. You're responsible for my welfare.
Look, even if I do go, it won't do any good. Landlord told me no more lunches.
That's ridiculous. I'm a traveler.
Well, you haven't been traveling for the past 2 weeks. Anyway, landlord says he'll tell the police governor you won't pay up. You and your master, he said to me, are a couple of swindlers and your master's a right villain.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
He said to me, you're a pair of crooks. You move in here, live it up, run up a bill you can't pay, and then think you can sit tight and call for the damn menu. I'm off to see the governor, he said to me, and you'll end up in a hostelry in Siberia on black bread and dirty water.
That's enough of that. You go and teach your manners, Ossip.
I could ask him to come and have a conversation with you.
No, I don't really hit it off with him for some reason. You go.
Anything you say.
To hell with it, fetch the landlord. Hunger's a terrible thing, you know. I thought maybe I could walk off my hunger, but it's worse than ever. You can't run away from your stomach, as the old people say. Oh, if I hadn't gone on the booze in Penza, I'd have the cash to get home. It was that infantry captain. Finished me off. Must have been a conjurer before he joined up. Talk about a shifty shuffler. 15 minutes and he cleaned me out. Wish I could have gotten my own back, but I didn't have the capital. What a nasty little town this is. Damn shopkeepers won't put an onion on the tab. The mean-mindedness of the provinces.
Lovely day, sir. Landlord sent me.
Lovely day, if you like skeletons. How's business?
Thriving, thank the Lord.
Plenty of customers?
Very nice crowd, sir. Yes, very nice.
Waiter, listen! I've had no meal today. Let's have a bite of dinner, eh? I have an important after-dinner engagement, so I've got to have some dinner first, haven't I?
The landlord says no more meals for number 5. He's going to talk to the governor about you.
Talk to the governor? What for? Look, waiter, I need food. Take a good look at me. Emaciation can go no further. I need a nice, good, big, hot meal. And that's nothing to grin about.
I'm sorry, sir. I smile because I'm happy. I'm happy because I'm saved. Because Jesus died for my sins. But the landlord says no more meals for number 5 till he pays his bill.
Explain to him. Appeal to him. Money is not the issue. Or does he want to find my bones gathering dust upon his carpet?
Very well, sir. God bless you.
God bless you. Oh, if I don't get a meal, it's terrible. Genuine hunger pangs. I suppose I could sew my trousers. Or eat them. No. It's better to arrive home wearing a suit cut in Petersburg. Oh, what a pity they wouldn't let me rent a carriage without a deposit. It would have been wonderful to arrive home in a troika, to go thundering over the landscape, to visit one of those grand houses where the gentry live, with Ossip, wearing my gilded livery, the driveway, crowded with barouches, a couple of gendarmes posted beside the great white doors, a babble of postilions' cries as footmen, with flaring torches in their hands, leap forward to meet the slim and distinguished figure of the mysterious stranger. In the upper windows, the feminine excitement is unbounded. Who can he be? An ambassador? Prince? And then the voice of the major domo booms out through the hall. Ivan from Petersburg! The whole family put on their tiaras and hurry down to greet me. And there, I stand in the light of the chandeliers, poised, suave, an inclination of the head and the slightest of smiles as I raise the hand of a young princess to my lips. May I be permitted? Oh, it's a terrible thing to starve! Well...
Dinner is served.
Dinner!
This is your last lunch. Landlord said so.
Landlord? May he rot in, sir! What's for dinner?
Turnip soup and cold veal.
Only a 2-course dinner!
That's all, sir.
Ridiculous! I'll cancel my order. Go and tell him I need 3 courses at least. 4!
The landlord says that's 2 more than you deserve.
All right. Why is there no gravy on the cold veal?
Because there is no gravy.
You deny the existence of gravy. But this morning, passing through the kitchen, I saw a great big bowl of gravy under a cloud of gravy steam. And I took a sniff, and then I took a short cut through the dining room, and there were two little fellers feeding their faces with salmon. Do you claim that there is no such thing as salmon?
Well, sir, yes and no.
Are there no chops? No caviar? No mountain ashberry tart soaked in corn brandy?
They would be for special customers.
You're an evil man.
I am, sir, but Jesus loves me.
Jesus. Look, what's so special about these special customers?
They pay for their food.
It's wicked. I'll ignore you. Oh, turnip soup. It's washing up soup. It doesn't taste of anything except earth. Waiter, the soup is not to my liking. There are lumps in it.
The landlord says if you don't like it, you can lump it.
But don't touch it, you soup thief. This may be how you treat your ordinary customers, but I'm not ordinary. Good grief, I'm the only man in the world who can swallow this stuff. Oh, look, there's a little yellow beak in it. Ooh, and some newspaper. Cotton yarn, jute yarn, alpaca, mohair, and woolen flannel were in demand. But you may finish the soup, Ossip. Waiter, this substance is not veal.
What is it then?
Embalmed blubber. Wonder what the special customers are eating. Oh! You try to chew it, it sort of sucks the teeth out of your gums. Isn't there anything else?
No, sir.
It's highway robbery. No chops, no caviar, no mountain ashberry tart soaked in corn brandy. It's an insult to the human stomach. Oh, the void! I ate just enough to make me really hungry. Oh, if I had the money, I'd set out to the market to buy a humble little roll.
The police governor's turned up. He's with the landlord asking about the gentleman in number 5.
What? The damn landlord's called in the law already? Oh, what if he sticks me in jail? Well, if they treat me like a gentleman, I might. No, I won't go. The whole town would talk, and they think of me as rather distinguished. Especially that pretty redhead in the baker shop. No, I'll not be arrested. What does he think I am? A shopkeeper? A plumber? I'll say to his face, I'll say, what the hell do you think you're doing? How dare you!
May I present my compliments to you?
And mine to you.
I hope I'm not butting in.
Not in the slightest.
As governor of this town, it's my privilege to ensure that everything goes smoothly for important people.
But what can I do? I haven't done anything. I'm going to pay. Of course I'm going to pay. It's the landlord. His veal's like India rubber, the soup's like mud, Dana mud, the tea tastes of smoked mackerel, the whole inn's a national disgrace. Why should I be forced to—
Please forgive me, sir. It really isn't my fault. Our town's famous for good meat. I can't think with the innkeeper buys such rubbish. Oh, but since you're unhappy here, perhaps I could offer you a more appropriate accommodation.
Never! I'm not leaving. Appropriate accommodation. You mean the jail, don't you? But I know my rights. How dare you? I'm employed by the government in Petersburg.
Oh, Lord, he's furious. He knows everything. Those damn shopkeepers just spilled the beans.
We're in the classics, but I won't go. The only place I'll go is the ministry. To the minister. What do you think of that?
Oh, please, sir, I must throw myself on your mercy. Please, don't ruin my career. I have a wife, little children. Please, don't destroy me.
Because you've got a wife and children, I have to go to jail. Wonderful. No, thank you very much. You'll not take me there.
Lord knows it was only my inexperience and unworldliness and my pathetic salary. Well, do the math yourself. My official salary wouldn't even keep us in tea and sugars. So if I have accepted the odd bribe, it was only an innocent little one. Just a few pork chops or some dresses for my daughter. As for the story I had the sergeant's widow flogged, it's a filthy lie. My enemies invent these stories. Yes, I've got enemies, and I've got reason to believe they're planning to assassinate me.
Well, that's your problem. Why are you telling me all this about the sergeant's widow and your enemies? A sergeant's widow is one thing, but you better not try flogging me. I wouldn't try it. I'll pay my bill when my money comes through. But until then, I'm staying here. To be honest, I've got no cash whatsoever.
He's crafty. Hinting. Well, a shout's as good as a whisper to a deaf kulak, as the old people say. So long as it was a shout. Better make sure. If you are at all financially embarrassed, you'll find me at your service. Part of my job, you understand, to make sure a visitor enjoys his stay in our little community.
Alone? Well, that's very civil. Then I can pay the landlord straight away. 200 rubles would do it, or even less.
Right. One moment, please. 200 rubles exactly. And don't bother to count it, please.
Very kind of you. I'll pay back as soon as I get home to my place in the country. Unexpected circumstances. You're a real gentleman, I can tell.
Thank God he took it. We'll pull through. And I managed to slip him 400 rubles instead of 200.
Hey, Austin. Fetch that waiter. Oh, but please, gentlemen, sit yourselves down.
Oh, it doesn't matter. We've been sitting down a lot.
Do me a favor, sir, and sit down. Now I can see what kind and straightforward people you are. I must admit, I thought you'd come to... Oh, sit down.
He obviously wants to preserve his incognito. All right, we'll do some double talking to him, pretend we don't know who he is. I came round here on business, you see, with Peter, one of our leading landowners, to find out how the inn treats visitors to our town. It's my duty, as a Christian, to ensure that every traveler that comes our way is treated as St. Christopher treated our Lord. And like St. Christopher, I have my reward, the honor of meeting you, sir.
It's rewarding for me, too. Well, if it had been for you, I've been stuck here for ages. Didn't know how I was going to pay my bill.
A likely story is on government expenses. Oh, may I ask where you're traveling to?
On my way to the family estate in Saratov province.
Saratov? And he says it with a straight face! You better keep on your toes with this one. Well, that's delightful. Sure, they can talk about delays with horses and potholes, but the scenery's amusing. And I assume you're traveling for pleasure?
No, my father told me to come home. He's angry because I haven't been promoted yet. He thinks that as soon as you get to St. Petersburg, they pin the Order of Vladimir on you. He ought to try a week in my office. It's very boring.
What a wonderful smoke stream. Nice touch, the old father. Do you expect to be staying with us long?
I'm not sure yet. You see, my father's a stupid man. Stupid. Thick as a tree stump. Babylon, I shall say. Babylon, but I tell you, Father, I cannot live except in St. Pete's. My heart starves for enlightenment and culture and all that.
What a performance! Cover story after cover story, and they all match. But he's a scrawny-looking chap. I could crack him like a flea. I better put in a word for myself. Oh, you're right, sir. There's not much for a man to do in outlandish places such as these. I mean, look at me. Can't sleep all night worrying about municipal problems, wearing myself to a frazzle for the national benefit, leaving no stone unturned for the greater good. A slave to duty, some might say, but the Order of Vladimir doesn't go on trees. Oh, no, not round these parts. Oh, no, I'm hidden under a bushel. Your room's a bit chilly, isn't it?
It's a filthy, fungusy slum of a room. The only good thing I'll say for it is that the damn patches on the mattress have frozen over so you can watch the bedbugs skating.
Oh, it's not good enough. Our distinguished guest having to put up with fungus and bugs. What kind of bugs did you say they were? Black bugs, are they?
Yes, and spotty yellow ones too.
Oh, and it's a little dark in here.
Cold and dark. The landlord charges for every candle. So if I want to read a little bit, or if I'm inspired and I feel like writing, well, I can't, because it's dark. Dark. Dark.
Well, I wonder if I could ask you. Oh, no, it's not my place.
What is it? Ask me.
Oh, no, I could hardly hope.
Oh, go on.
Oh, well, there is a fine room in my house. Plenty of light. Very dry. Oh, no, but I couldn't. Oh, please don't be angry with me, sir. I'm just a simple man. I just happen to still believe in hospitality.
Don't mention it. It would give me the greatest pleasure. Oh, how much nicer to reside in a private house than to be trapped in this flea circus.
I'm overwhelmed, and my wife will be delighted. Even as a child, I enjoyed entertaining guests. Oh, and such a distinguished guest! Oh, but don't think I say that to butter you up, mind. I'm just a blunt countryman. If it comes into my head, I just say it. I'm like the wolf in the butter churn.
Me too. I like that. I hate hypocrites. You're a straightforward chap, and a warm host. And I like you for it. I don't ask much from people. I don't expect much, frankly, but there are two things I like to see in a man. Understanding and consideration for others.
Is there anything I can do for you, sir?
The bill, my man.
I gave you the latest one this morning, sir.
Well, I can't be expected to keep track of all your daft bills. What's the damage?
Well, the first day you had beef, the second day you had salmon, and the third day you had credit.
He's as crazy as a beekeeper. Give us the total.
Oh, take no notice of that, Your Excellency. I'll settle up later. Get out! I'll settle up later.
That's right. Later, waiter.
I expect you'd like to inspect some of our institutions while you're here.
What have you got?
Oh, well, the usual. It's just a town. I'll show you around.
Tour the town? Well, that sounds fine.
I expect you'd like to inspect our teaching. We could visit the school.
Excellent.
And then there's police inspection. We would have an informal chat with the inspector at the police station.
Police station. I'm really more interested in your charity work.
Of course. And your assistant.
Oh, I'll come too. I'm very interested in charity work.
Listen, can you deliver 2 notes for me really quickly? One to Zemlinik at the hospital, and the other to my wife. Do you mind if I send a note to my wife? Tell her to get the room ready for you.
Of course. I've got ink, but no paper. Here, use this bill.
Oh, thank you. That'll do nice. We'll see how things go after a bumper port and a good meal. This local custom of improving Madeira with vodka, it'll knock out an elephant.
Are you all right there?
Quite all right. Please don't worry. Just a slight bang on the nose, you know. I'll just pop over to Dr. Gibner's. He's got some wonderful nose plasters in. Just pop it on your nose and you feel fit to get married.
Oh, take no notice of that, Your Excellency. Shall we go? After you. And next time you want to practice falling out of windows, try the bell tower.
He's hopeless, won't tell me anything till he comes in. Come on, out with it! Aren't you ashamed of yourself? I counted on you, John Kinsey, I counted on you. And you just stashed away with the rest of the pack like a snake in a haystack. And I'm stuck here for hours without knowing what's up. I was godmother to your Venishka and Lysanka, and this is all the thanks I get.
Just a bit. I'm puffed out. How are you, Maria?
Good afternoon, Peter.
Good afternoon, good night, good morning, and what's up?
Anton sent you a note.
But who's the stranger? A general?
Not exactly a general, but good as. Very well educated, very good manners.
So it is the one my husband had a letter about.
Precisely. And it was me that found him. Well, me and Bogchinsky.
Tell us about it then.
Well, everything's all right so far, thank God. At first, he was a little brusque with Anton. Yes, he said the inn was terrible and wouldn't go to jail because of that. But when he got to know him better and found out it wasn't the governor's fault after all, everything went like clockwork. They've gone for a tour of the town. I think the governor reckoned there'd been a confidential complaint about him. I wasn't too happy myself.
Why should you be worried? You're not a government servant.
Important people make me nervous.
Never mind about that. What's he like? Old or young?
Young, a young man, about 23. But he talks like an old man. And I said to myself, there's an old head with a young face. And he talks with this natural dignity. Let this be done, and that, and I will go to this place and that place. How nice, how very nice. I like to read sometimes and write too when the inspiration comes on. What a shame this room is so dark.
Is he dark or fair?
Dark, and eyes like, what do you call them? Gimlets. Dark gimlets.
The note. Dear Anna, well, it looked pretty bleak for us, but I trusted in God for 2 pickled cucumbers separately and half a portion of caviar, 1 ruble 25 kopecks. I don't quite understand what's cucumbers and caviar got to do with anything.
He wrote it on some sort of bell.
I see. But I trusted in God, and it'll seem it'll all work out. Get a room ready for our distinguished guest, the one with the yellow wallpaper, and build up all the fires. Don't worry about dinner. We'll be eating with Artemy at the hospital, but order plenty of wine. Tell Adeline to send up a crate of his best Burgundy, or I'll have my cellar turned upside down. I kiss your hand and remain yours, Anton Svoznik de Muchanovsky. My God, we better get on with it then. Hey, who's there? Mishka?
Mishka, Mishka, Mishka!
Listen, scuttle down to Adeline's. Wait, I'll give you a little note. Give this to Cyril the coachman. Tell him to drive down to Adeline's and pick up the Burgundy. And brandy. And you go and get the yellow room ready. He'll need a washstand and all that.
Right then, I'd better be off. I'd like to see him inspecting the hospital.
Off you go then. I'm not stopping you. Right then, man. What are we going to wear? He's a Petersburg sophisticate, so we don't want to be looking like folk dancers. You better wear your pale blue dress with the little flounces.
Oh, no, Mother. Flounces are out. And the judge's wife wears pale blue, and so does that Zemlyanika girl. Much better if I wore my one with the flowers of spring.
Flowers of spring indeed! You're trying to spite me, just because I want to wear my sallow ivory. My sallow ivory shows off my figure so nicely.
Oh, Mother, your sallow ivory makes you look vulgar.
Vulgar!
You need dark googly eyes to get away with that neckline.
What do you mean? I've got dark eyes. Of course I have. Very dark and googly. Of course they're dark.
You always draw the Queen of Hearts when you're getting your fortune told.
Rubbish, absolute rubbish. I never draw the Queen of Hearts.
Well, I'm still torn between my flame-colored velvet or my flowers of spring.
How about the frothy pink and white one?
Well, perhaps.
It makes you look like a plate of meringues.
Where can I dump this lot?
Through that door, up the stairs, down the corridor, second on your left.
Hang on. Let's have a breather. Bust the icicles off my fingers.
Is the general coming soon?
What general?
Your master, of course.
He's not a general.
No.
Not exactly.
Well, is he higher or lower than a jump?
Higher, you can't get much higher.
I thought so. That's why everyone here is running around like loonies.
Listen, I can see you've got your head screwed on. How about a snack?
Dinner isn't ready yet, but it won't be a snack when it comes. When your boss eats, you'll have the same as him, and it will be a proper feast.
All right. But I need some now. What have you got handy?
Cabbage soup, porridge, meat pie.
All right. I'll have cabbage soup, porridge, meat pie, whatever you've got. Give us a hand with the bags.
That was a nice courthouse, and a nice hospital, and the school was nice. Not every town that gives you a grand tour. Some of the towns I've been through, they don't show me anything.
Some governors haven't got much to be proud of, eh? But in this town, we all pull together, and we've got one big ambition to show the world that we're up-to-date, efficient, honest folk.
That was a marvelous lunch. Big portions, plenty to drink. Throw a banquet like that every day.
Oh no, we're very economical. But for a special guest,
I like good food. But then, what is life all about? I believe we were put on this earth to have a good time. That fish we had, what was its name?
Hake, Your Excellency, baked hake.
Ooh, baked hake, truly delicious. Hey, what was that big place we had lunch at? Looked like a hospital.
It was the hospital.
Of course it was. There were many beds, and not many patients.
Oh, we've got about 10 left, no more. Since I took over with Dr. Gibner and his German methods, they've been recovering like flies. It's not to say they were medical wizards. I put it down to honesty, hygiene, and strict discipline in the ward.
Oh, but of course, you don't have a heavy caseload, do you, Artemis? The people around here are all that prone to diseases, are they? But when you have to look at the picture as a whole, like the governor has to, then you've got problems, real problems. So many things to be looked after, nothing must be neglected. Let's see, there's sanitation, law and order, education, repair and maintenance, snow clearance. Running a town is a complex operation, but thank God, this one runs pretty smoothly. I know some governors are only out for what they can get, but when I blow out the light beside my bed, 4 in the morning, maybe, I say to God, oh God, all I ask for in my work is just a little recognition. Perhaps I'll be granted official honors, and perhaps I won't. But what does that matter when compared with the satisfaction of a job well done? The streets are cleaner, there's no rubbish or beggars in our streets, and all the patients are getting better. What more can a governor ask? And I'm not after decoration, mind. Very nice for the chosen few, I'm sure. But what's the order of Vladimir compared with the satisfaction of a life well spent? Oh, dust and ashes, that's all.
You say all that to yourself every night?
Well, most nights.
Dust and ashes. Very true. I'm fond of philosophy myself. Sometimes I do it in prose. Other times I do it in a song.
There you are, Peter. He's an astonishing man. You can tell he's been to university and studied something.
What do you do for a bit of fun around here? Don't you ever get down to a game of cards?
Ah, testing us out to see if we're gamblers. Oh, God forbid, we never gamble here. In fact, I can honestly say that I've never held a card in my hand once in my entire life. Just looking at cards makes me feel all queasy. Last night I had to entertain the orphans. Sad. Then they asked me to build them a house of cards. You know, I had to go out and be sick. I'll never understand how some people fritter their time with cards.
Just 3 days ago, he won 100 rubles off of me.
Oh, now look, if you're losing at cards, don't get sour. Sometimes it helps if you treble your stake. Win it back a little bit. A good game of cards is like a battle in miniature with less blood. No blood, you know.
May I introduce my family, my wife, and my daughter?
I'm extremely delighted to meet both of you.
It's a great honor for us to meet such an important person.
Not at all, not at all. The honor for me is greater for me in meeting you.
What a graceful compliment, sir. But please sit down.
But I feel very happy standing up beside you. But if you would like me to, I feel very happy sitting down. Sitting down beside you.
Traveling must be very trying compared to life in Petersburg.
Oh yes, it's awful. One moment you're accustomed to high society, to comprenez-vous, and then you find yourself on the road. Grubby inns and crooked landlords and stupid people of all kinds. But every once in a while, you do find a real, warm, sympathetic human being like yourself, and that makes up for everything.
You're just being polite. We don't deserve it.
Oh, you'll never get anything in the world that's good enough for you.
I'm just a simple countrywoman.
The country! Oh, the country with its little streams and little flowers and little sheep and stuff. But you can't compare it with Petersburg. Ah, Petersburg. Perhaps you think I'm just a copying clerk. No. I happen to be on very good terms with the head of my department. Many's the time he pops in my office, slaps me on the back, and says, "Come on, Ivan Alexandrovich. Feeding time on the Nevsky Prospect." So I tell my department what to be getting on with, and the copying clerk, little rat-like fellow he is, begins scratching away with his pen. They wanted to promote me, but I've got enough responsibility as it is. Then the porter runs after me on the staircase. "Mr. Kolesnikov, please let me polish your boots." But why are you all standing up? Gentlemen, please be seated. I don't stand on ceremony. No, I try to be inconspicuous. Don't like to be noticed. But oh, it's not possible. Every time I go into the street, the cry goes up. Look, there goes the famous Kolesnikov. Once I was even taken for the commander-in-chief. The Imperial Guard turned out to present an arms to me. Of course, at the time, I wondered why, but then, a little later, a colonel, who's an old friend of mine, told me afterwards, "You know, old man, they were absolutely convinced it was the CMC.
Good heavens!
Well, they know me everywhere. Some of my best friends are pretty actresses. I've written a few bits and pieces for the stage, you see. Oh, and that's another thing about Petersburg. I keep on bumping into famous writers I know. Alexander Pushkin and I are like that. Every time I see him in the street, I say, "How you doing, Pushkin?" And he gives me a friendly punch on the shoulder, you know? And he says, "I'm muddling through, Ivan. I'm muddling through." You can say what you like, but he's a good start, Pushkin.
You're a writer, too. How nice. Do you write for magazines, too?
Oh, yes. Magazines, too. And I've written a few plays. The Marriage of Figaro, Robert Le Diable, Norma. Oh, I can't remember them all. Theater managers won't leave me alone. Write us another play, old boy. We need another hit. So I think to myself, why not? And I go, scribble, 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 scribble. Before done, another masterpiece. And everyone's astounded. Except for me. Seems to me the most natural thing in the world. I've got a mind like a jumping frog, as they say in St. Pete. All the Baron Rambeau stuff in Pride and Prejudice and the Moscow Daily Telegraph. Samples of my work.
So you're the great Baron Brandian?
Of course. And I rewrite verses for all the best poets, correct their rhymes and so on. They club together and pay me $40,000 a year for that.
It wouldn't surprise me if you wrote Childe Harold, you sly thing.
Oh, you found out my secret.
But Ma, it says on my copy that it was written by Lord Byron. You think it was illiterate, don't you?
Oh, that must be Byron's Childe Harold you're thinking of. My Childe Harold is rather more ambitious.
Well, it must have been yours I read about. I read a wonderful review of it.
It did go down rather well, but I'm the first to admit I live for art. Everyone in Petersburg knows my house. The police pointed out to foreigners, look, that's the house of Kolesnikov. If you're ever in Petersburg, drop in on me, please. I hold rather exceptional parties.
I can just imagine.
You cannot! A buffet, for example. From the sideboard, for instance, a 700 ruble watermelon. And a tureen of special soup, imported straight from Paris. One lifts the lid. One bathes one's nostrils in the perfumed steam. Pushkin couldn't describe it. If I'm not at some party, I'm off at some elegant ball. There's a little group of us like to play whist in the corner. The foreign minister, the French ambassador, the German ambassador, the British ambassador, and me. Oh, that's 5. So we took out the German. Whist. So exhausting. So home I go, and I dash up the stairs, and I say to the cook, "Hang up my coat, Mavrusha." Oh, that'd make a great start to a story, wouldn't it? But of course I look at the ground floor, and the second floor, and the third floor, and the fourth floor, and so on. A whole great house, and my marble staircase alone is worth... And I wish you could see the hallway outside my bedroom in the morning. There are princes and counts and ministers of state all buzzing and swarming about like bees around a hive, and all you can hear is... Even sometimes the government ministers... Even all my letters come addressed, Your Excellency. Yes, once I was even put in charge of the whole department. It was very weird. Our boss was on that, vanished. Nobody knew where. And of course, there were the same old arguments. Who's going to take over? Some of the generals wanted the job, and they tried it one after the other, but they hadn't got it. They hadn't got it. Here. Say what you like about men at the top, but oh, it's not so simple. No, they found out. Yes. And so they asked me. They sent urgent messages every minute. The streets are thronging with messengers. Can you imagine a street, right? Now imagine it filled with 35,000 messengers. Well, I went outside to my balcony and I said, "What can I do for you, my friends?" And 35,000 messengers shouted with a single voice, "Your Excellency, Ivan Lestikov, go and take charge of the departments." It was a bit embarrassing. I was still in my dressing gown, which is embroidered with golden boxes. So home I went, and I got changed, and when I was ready, I came down and I saw princes and elders of the church and state ministers all kneeling at the foot of my marble staircase, which alone is worth... And I looked at them and I said, "Gentlemen, what do I want with power?" And they set up such a piteous whimpering sound, oh, it would crack your heart. And then I thought of the Tsar, and how he'd feel if I refused. So I looked at them and I said, "Gentlemen, please, get up off your knees. I accept, but gentlemen, but I have eyes in my head, so you better watch out. And if any of you try to, and you know I marched around that department like an elephant, like some great elephant, like an enormous elephant, and everything, and everyone in that room trembled. No, I don't fool about. I flog them with my tongue. I even put the fear of God in the state council. That's it. That's how I am. Nobody stops me. I know everything. I see everything. I know you, and you, and you. And I toll around the palace every day. And tomorrow, I'm gonna be a field marshal.
Oh, Your Excellency!
What's up?
Your Excellency, would you like to lie down? I mean, your room's all prepared.
Lie down? Never! Of course, lying down is good. Hey, gentlemen! That was a very good meal. I'm extremely happy. Big take! Big take!
Enter 3 clumsy bears. They perform clog dance. Can't you tiptoe in those boots? Where the hell have you been?
As I was proceeding to carry out my orders...
Yeah, now I was leading barrels to perform an aria. As I was proceeding, it sounds like someone throwing barrels of molasses off a cart. Now, listen. You three go and stand on the front steps and don't move. No matter what, no one gets in here today, especially those merchants. And anyone with a petition, no. Anyone who even looks like he wants to head in a petition heads headfirst down the steps, right? Like that, you understand? Oh, shh, quietly. Now get going. Oh. The world is getting stranger and stranger. Important people used to look important, but him, he's thin. No, skinny. He could be anybody. He didn't give much away at the inn, talked a lot of red herrings, but last night he gave away a bit more than he should. You can tell he's new to the game.
Anton, that dressing gown! You look like a wandering hermit! What'll he think?
She's still sleeping it off, but keep your voice down, my dear. My brain's all addled. Oh, I feel like a man in a condemned cell, neck's all tense. Couldn't sleep all night for worry.
I wasn't frightened of him at all. Seemed like a nicely brought up, educated gentleman to me. I didn't give a thought to his position.
I think he's lovely.
He's got that Petersburg air. He's so suave and sophisticated. I took to him straight off. He kept aiming meaningful glances at me.
Oh, Mama, those meaningful glances were aimed at me.
You're not very worldly, are you, Mary? Why would he bother with you? Any more remarks like that, and it's up to your room.
Women! That one word sums you two up. I wonder how much of what he said was true. Of course, maybe it's all true. When a man's hammered, it all pours out. Of course, he threw in a few little white lies. Everyone does that. He plays whist with the foreign secretary and he goes to the palace every day, but he can certainly put it over. Very convincing.
Good morning.
Is your master still asleep?
He's stretching. A little bit.
Listen, what's your name?
Osip, madam.
That'll do, that'll do. Right, Osip, have they fed you all right?
Very good meal, thanks a lot.
I suppose your master's visited by lots of counts and princes.
If I get this one right, I should win an even better meal. Oh yes, crowds of them.
Oh, Osip, he's so good looking.
I'm interested to know just how he...
That's enough! I can't get a word in! No. Osip.
What's your master's rank?
The usual, what you'd expect.
What a stupid question! Now! Osip. What sort of man is your master? You know, does he enjoy finding fault with people or is he easygoing?
Well, mostly he just likes things to run smoothly. He likes everything just right.
What does your master look like in uniform?
Oh my God! It's a matter of life and death! Now! Osip, what does your master look out for? When he's traveling, what does he like most of all?
Well, that depends, doesn't it? Mostly he just likes to be looked after properly.
Listen, Osip, what kind of eyes does your master like best?
Oh, Osip, he's got such a pretty little nose.
I'll give you a pretty little nose. Now, Osip, what is it you were going to say?
Well, he does like being looked after. I do my best for him and he does very well by me. Pretty often we've stayed somewhere and afterwards he puts it to me. They look after you all right, Osip? No, sir, they did not, sir. Treated me like a pig, they did, I say sometimes. Right, he says to me, that town goes on my blacklist. Remind me when we get back to Petersburg, Osip. And I think to myself, God bless him.
You know, Osip, you're the salt of the earth, as the fishermen say. You know, I like your face. You must need the odd hot drink to cool you up on the road these days. Here's a few rubles for tea.
God bless you, sir. I'll drink your help with that.
Come here, Osip. I've got something for you too.
Sweet Osip, will you give your master a kiss for me?
Right. Now let's be very quiet.
Come on, Nara. I've got a few things to tell you about our guest. We're going to have a little talk.
Oh, those little talks. Enough to make the wallpaper blush, right? Awesome. You're a good chap. How's about a few more for a couple good meals on the road to Saratov?
You're a good man, sir.
Well, I wish I was, Asa. I wish I was. Well, gentlemen, you're up bright and early, aren't you?
We came to pay our respects to him.
And you, Peter.
Oh, I've got to see him about something terribly urgent.
Has that school of yours pulled itself together, Luca?
Oh, I give up. What can you do with people?
Right. My friends, I must be off. I have to get dressed and take care of a few little errands.
For God's sakes, gentlemen, arrange yourself in a semicircle and smarten up. He's a regular visitor at the palace. Try and look more, military. Peter, that way. Peter, over here.
I don't know about you, but I reckon we have to take some action.
Action.
You know what I mean.
Not.
I thought we ought.
No, much too dangerous. It'd be like tipping an international statesman. We could raise a subscription and pay it into some fund for a memorial or something. That's more like it.
Or we could say, oh look, this money just came in the post and it's got no address on it.
You watch how he doesn't put you in the post with no address on you. You can't do things like that in a law-abiding country. Now, why are we all here in a mob? We ought to see him one by one. That way, whatever happens, there's no witnesses. That's how things get done in a law-abiding country. You go first, Amos.
No, much better if you went first. I mean, you had that feast for him at your hospital.
Perhaps Luca should go first, representing education and youth and all that.
I don't know, I couldn't. Much too nervous. It's the way I was brought up. Put me in a room with someone one rank above me and I shake and stutter and really, gentlemen, leave me out.
No, you ought to go first, Amos. You're a modern Cicero.
That's putting it a bit. Well, I suppose I could give a speech if the subject's right. I could talk about dogs till the cows come home. That's enough, gentlemen.
Oh, what a wonderful nap. Nothing like a good snore and a good sweat, as my old mother used to say. You know, that wine wasn't bad at all. My head's like a beehive. I think I can have a very nice time here. I do like warm-hearted people. And it's all the better because they're not putting themselves out because they want something. They just like me for what I am. And the daughter's not bad as they go. And they do go, you know. And the mother, ready for anything. Oh, this is the life.
Actually, we met yesterday, but you won't remember me. I'm the district judge, Amos Fyodorovich Yetkin-Tietkin.
Sit you down. So, you're the judge. Good money, is it?
It's more the honor, you know. I've been awarded Order of Vladimir 4th class with the approval of my superiors. I've never held so many rubles in my hand before.
I like the Order of Vladimir, but I got no time for the bloody Order of Santa Ana 3rd class.
No, oh no. What do I do now?
What's in your hand?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing? That looks like money on the floor. Oh, it is money.
No, it isn't. Oh, is it? Oh, good. Money, that's lucky. Finders keepers, you know.
I'll tell you what. Could you let me have a loan of these? You know how it is when you're traveling a bit short of the ready. Pay you back as soon as I get to my parents' place. By post.
No, not at all. Don't give it a thought. Only too glad to help. Absolutely work as a team. That's my motto. Very glad of you to give me your time, Your Excellency. Have you any orders?
What kind of orders?
About how I should run my court, for instance.
Not at this particular moment. Thanks.
What a relief.
Nicest judge I ever met.
May I present myself, Postmaster Specken.
Come in. I like good company. Sit down. Always lived around here, have you?
Absolutely correct, sir.
It's a nice little town. Not so many people, of course, but so what? It's not the capital, is it?
Sir?
It's not the capital, is it?
Yes, that's right. It's not.
You know, the great thing about the capital is that there are so many fashionable people and so few provincials. Don't you agree?
That's what I think. Well, at least he's not toffee-nosed. He listens to other people's opinions.
But let's admit it, it's possible to live happily even in a small town.
I'll admit it.
I mean, what does one really need as one trudges through life? What does one really need? One needs respect and genuine friendship, and not much more, does one?
One does not.
I'm very glad we're of the same opinion. Of course, some people think I'm peculiar, but that's just because of my character. I'll tap this one for a loan, too. You know, a funny thing happened to me. I completely ran out of cash. Could you lend me 300 rubles?
Oh, yes. That would make me a happy man.
Thanks a lot. Thing is, when I'm traveling, I do hate having to go without. And why should I go without?
Precisely. I wouldn't go without. If I were to travel, that is. Well, I don't dare trouble you anymore. Will there be any instructions about the running of the post office?
There will not. Postmaster's a good sort, too. Very obliging. I like these people.
What are you scared about?
Can I introduce myself? School Superintendent Klopov.
Fine. Take a seat. Oh, have a cigar.
I can't remember if I smoke.
Oh, go on, take it. It's not bad. Of course, I have my own cigars rolled for me in Petersburg with a portrait of me on the band. Oh, here, have a light. Try lighting the other end.
Damn it. I haven't felt like this since I was at school, waiting to be beaten.
You don't strike me as a cigar type. Cigars are my favorite vice. Next to women, of course. Oh, hey, what kind of women get you going? Brunettes or blondes? Come on, which is it? Brunettes or blondes?
I'm really not sure. I mean...
Oh, come on! I like to know these things. Oh, but you're a sly operator, I can tell. It's the dark, curly ones for you, isn't it? Oh, look, you're blushing. I knew I was right.
I really don't know, Your Excellency. I'm a bit overawed by you.
Don't worry. Lots of people have that problem with me. It's my, gimlet eyes. Women are transfixed by my gaze. See?
I can see they would be.
You know, a funny thing happened to me while I was traveling. All my money ran out. Could you lend me 300 rubles?
What if I haven't got it? I've got it. I've got it.
Ooh, many thanks.
Well, I'll be running along.
Goodbye.
Thank God. With any luck at all, he won't inspect the school.
May I have the honor, Charity Commissioner Zemlyanika.
Pleased to meet you. Take a seat.
Oh, I had the honor of conducting you around the hospital yesterday.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that was a classic lunch. Classic.
We do as best as we can for our visitors, sir.
There's one thing I like. It's a really hefty meal. Hey, you look smaller than you did the other day.
That's quite possible. All I can say is I don't stint myself when it comes to working for the good of the community. I wish I could say the same for everyone. The local postmaster, for instance. Do you know what he keeps in the post office pigeonholes?
No.
Pigeons! And the judge, who was here just now, he's more interested in pursuing hares than justice.
That's a nice phrase.
He keeps dogs, and his private life is horrible. It's my patriotic duty to tell you this, even though he's my friend and we're related by marriage. Everything about him is a scandal. There's a local landowner in town, Dobchinski. You may have noticed him. Well, every time Dobchinski leaves his home, the judge adjourns his court and whizzes round to call on Mrs. Dobchinski. And that's not just gossip. You look at the children, sir. Not one of them looks like Dobchinski, but all of them, even the little girl, are the spitting image of the judge. If you forget the mustache, of course.
I didn't think he had it in him.
As for the school superintendent, I don't know how he was chosen. It's like an anarchist in sheep's clothing, putting political ideas in young minds. I can write this all out for you if it would be convenient.
Good idea. That'll be handy. I like a good read. What's your name again? I keep forgetting.
Zemlyanika.
How many children yourself?
Of course, 5. 2 already grown up.
And what are their names?
Nicholas, Yvonne, Peter, Catherine, and Perpetua.
Very patriotic.
I won't bother you anymore. I know you're a busy man.
Don't mention it. That was a great conversation. Please drop in on me again. Oh, by the way, what's your name? I keep forgetting.
Artemis Zemlyanika.
Oh, yes, that's right. Well, a funny thing happened to me. I ran out of money. Lend me 400 rubles.
Oh, of course.
Very good of you, old man.
May I introduce myself? I'm a small landowner, Peter Bobchinsky.
May I introduce myself? I am a small landowner, Peter Dobchinsky.
Oh, I've seen you before. You just gone through a window. How's the hooter?
Don't worry about me, sir. It's mending nicely, thank God.
Oh, that's lucky and pleased to hear it. Got any cash on you?
Cash? Why?
I could do with a loan of about 1,000 rubles.
I haven't got that much, Dobchinsky. You don't happen to have 1,000 on you, do you?
Sorry. You see, I keep all my money in a savings bank.
Well, if you haven't got 1,000, 100 would help.
I've only got 40 in notes, Dobchinsky. You wouldn't happen to have 100 on you, would you?
25 rubles, 12 kopecks.
Keep looking. Your right-hand pocket's got a hole in it. The money's probably falling through the lining.
Look.
Well, if all you've got is 65 rubles, never mind.
Do I dare ask you about a rather embarrassing problem, sir?
Of course. Oh, about women, is it?
Not exactly, sir. Our youngest son, well, he was born before we got married.
Yes.
But only in a matter of speaking. It's as if we were married and now we are. So what I'd like, if you follow, is for him to be my own legitimate son and have the same name as me. Peter Dobchinsky.
All right. Let him take the name. That's fine.
Thank you. I wouldn't have asked, but it's such a pity because he's so talented. We're sure he'll do well. He can say lots of poems by heart, and if you just give him a penknife and a lump of wood, he'll carve you a little carriage just like magic. That's right, isn't it, Dobchinsky?
Yes, the boy's very bright.
Good, good. I'll see about it, and I'll talk about it, and I hope that something will be done, yes. You got something to tell me?
Just one small favor, sir.
Let's have it.
I just ask you, sir, when you go back to St. Petersburg and you see all those senators and nobles and admirals, could you say to them, Your Grace or Your Majesty, as the case may be, there's a man who lives in such and such a town, and his name is Peter Bobchinsky. Just that. And his name is Peter Bobchinsky.
I will almost certainly do that.
Please forgive us for taking up your time.
Yes, please forgive us for taking up your time.
Not at all. My pleasure. It takes a lot of jockeys to run a one-horse town. They've mistaken me for some big noise in the government. What a gang of loonies. I must have been in good form yesterday. Oh, hey, I'll have to write to Try Pitchkin about this. He does those funny articles. He'll make a really hilarious one of this lot. All set? Ink and paper.
Give us a minute.
Oh, hey, it's great when that Try Pitchkin gets his knife into somebody. He'd cut up his granny for a good gossip item. Or for cash. He's very fond of money. They're a generous bunch, these people. Oh, let's see how much I collected. 300 from the judge. 300 from the postmaster. 6, 7, 800. Oh, what a filthy note. 900. Well over 1,000. Oh, I'd like to meet that infantry captain now. I'd teach him how to play cards. Oh, there you are, stupid. You see how they treat me? They know a gentleman when they see one, even if you don't.
You're welcome. But you know something, Yvonne?
What?
I think we ought to get moving. It's about time.
Nonsense. What for?
Because it's vanishing time. Don't want to outstay our welcome. You don't know what'll happen if we hang about here. Anyone might turn up honestly, Yvonne. The horses, they've got their beauties. We'd be over the horizon in no time.
Oh, but I'm having a good time. Let's wait till tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Better hop it today. All right, they're buttering us up now, but that's because they think you're someone else. You know that. And your father will go mad if we don't get back soon. We could be off in half an hour. They give us the best horses.
Oh, all right. We'll get this letter to the post office. Try Pitchkin will die laughing. And while you're at it, order me some horses and a good carriage.
I'll send a letter with one of the servants, sir. I'd better start your packing. Save time.
All right.
Hey, I got a letter for the post office. Tell the postmaster to take care of the money. And tell him to send round the very best troika for my master. The government's paying. And tell him to get cracking, my master's in a nasty mood. Hang on, the letter's not finished yet.
You know, I wonder where he lives now. He likes to move from flat to flat, say his rent. I'll take a chance he's still living on Post Office Street.
Who are you pushing Fud's Feast? No one's getting in, nobody.
Here, take it.
We're entitled to see him.
Business, it's about business.
Get out of here, he can't see you, he's asleep.
What's up, Austin? Have a look.
It's a gang of merchants.
Hey! What's the matter, my good people?
We appeal to you, Your Excellency.
Something's got to be done.
Read our petitions.
Get them organized, Austin. To his most noble reverence, the Master of Finance from the Merchant Abdulin. Master of Finance? There's no such rank. But there's something he wanted.
Read our petitions, please, read them.
One at a time, please.
We need your help.
We're honest merchants.
We're being ruined.
Oh no, who's responsible?
It's the governor, sir. He's the worst in the history of the town.
He billets soldiers on us.
They eat us out of house and home.
He pulls our hair.
Shouts down our throats.
He stomps into our shops and grabs all that he sees.
Good morning. That's a fine piece of cloth you've got there. Bring it around to my house.
For his wife and his daughter's dresses.
Sounds like a real crook.
And he doesn't just like the good stuff.
Old dried up prunes, 7 years in the barrel.
He gulps them down in handfuls.
Even my shop assistant wouldn't eat them.
But if you try and say anything to him, he'll billet a whole regiment on you.
Or he'll shut your shop.
I won't have you tortured, he'll say, because that would be against the law. From now on, you'll get nothing but salted herrings.
People get sent to Siberia for that sort of thing.
We don't mind where you send them, as long as it's a long way.
A long, long way.
A long, 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 long way away.
That's a long way.
Please, sir, accept the sugar loaves.
And this wine.
Oh, no, bribes are bad.
Yes, bribes.
But loans are good.
Loans are good.
A loan, sir, and please accept the loan of a tray as well.
And the sugar.
I hate sugar.
A loan, sir. A loan.
Austin, collect my loans.
Please help us, sir.
I'll do my best. Oh, please, lady, stand on your 4 feet.
A favor, Your Excellency?
A favor.
Who are you, anyway?
I'm Schleppkin American.
One at a time. What can I do for you?
It's the governor. God rained his curses on the governor and his wife and his children and his uncles and aunts too.
What's he done wrong?
He sent my husband into the army and he shaved his head and it wasn't his turn and it's illegal because my husband is a married man.
Then how can he do it?
He did it. He just did it. May God punish him in this world and the next. May his aunt have convulsions if he's got an aunt and may his father-in-law choke to death if he's alive. They should have sent the tailor's son, drunken little pig. But his parents made the governor a beautiful overcoat, didn't they? So then he said he'd send the son of the draper, but the draper sent the 3 bolts of linen to the governor's wife. So then he comes around to me and he says, you don't need a husband like that. He says, he's no damn use to you. Well, I'm the only one who knows if he's any use, aren't I? That's my business. So then he says, and your husband's a thief. So I say, he never stole anything. So he says, well, he's a potential thief. Prevention is better than cure. He's going in the army. So I say, how can you leave me without my man, you old villain? I'm a weak, defenseless woman. May all your relations get gandering, and if you've got a mother-in-law, may your mother-in-law.
All right.
Don't you forget now.
I came to complain about the governor, sir. Well, keep it short. He had me flogged, sir.
Really?
By mistake, sir. Some women fighting in the market. Police sent for. Got there too late, so they grabbed me and beat me, and I couldn't sit down for 2 days.
Can't do much about that now.
Not much, but it's against the law. You could fine him. I don't have much left. A little compensation?
All right. I'll do what I can. to go?
Huzzah!
Oh, I've had enough of these people. No more. To hell with them. Don't let any more in, Austin.
Scrap! Not now! Come back tomorrow!
What's that? You're not scared of me. Where are you off to then?
Oh, I'm not off anywhere, really.
Why not?
I thought Mama was in here.
I'm very interested in why you weren't off anywhere.
Ooh, I disturbed you, didn't I? Important business, I suppose.
Your eyes are more important than any business. As for disturbing me, well, such a disturbance is exquisitely pleasurable.
Do they all talk like that in St. Petersburg?
Only when inspired by a goddess. Please, make me happy by allowing me to rearrange this chair for you. Oh, but this chair is unworthy, a mere machine for sitting on. You deserve a throne.
It's quite comfy, thanks. I ought to be off, really.
What a pretty scarf you're wearing, child.
It's just a scarf. Are you making fun of me?
Would that I wear that scarf so I could dangle around your delicate neck?
It's only a scarf. Funny weather we're having, aren't we?
Oh, the movement of your lips as you talk about the weather.
You do talk so nicely. Will you make up a poem about me?
No poem would do you justice.
But I would like a poem. I could put it in my album.
What sort of poem would you like?
A new one, just for me.
Let's see, Maria. See, career, fear, drear, rear. Oh no, another approach. Maria is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Maria is like a melody that's sweetly played in tune. So fair art thou, Maria. Ah. So deep in love am I, that I shall love thee, Maria. Ah. Till all the seas go dry. Oh, I'll make up some more verses, but what's a poem? A pedal on the great black lake of time.
Who said that?
I did. Instead, let me offer you and proffer you the unstinted devotion and passionate love which the moons of your eyes have set fire to in my heart.
Love? I'm not sure I know the meaning of the word.
Don't move away. It's cozier, closer.
Why so close? It's the same further away.
Why further away? It's the same nearer, only better.
What are you up to?
Please don't keep moving. You can pretend that we're hundreds of miles apart. Oh, I would be a happy man if I could hold you in my arms.
Was that a magpie that just flew past?
Well, it was some sort of pie.
Listen, now you think that just because I'm from the provinces that you can...
It's love, it's love. Oh, please don't be angry with me. Can't you take a joke? I would go down on my knees to ask you for forgiveness. Look, I have gone down on them. Did you hear that little crying sound?
For heaven's sake! What are you up to, young lady? What do you think you're doing? Go to your room, this moment, and stay there!
You know, there's something about a mother. And she's not bad at all. You see before you a poor fool on fire with passion.
What are you doing down there? Get up! Please get up! The carpet hasn't been swept.
Oh no, I will stand on my knees and plead with you to decide my sentence. Is it life or death?
I'm sorry, but I'm not quite with you. Are you asking if you can marry
You are the one I love. My life hangs by a string. If you won't crown my constant passion, I am less worthy than the worms. With a heart in flames, I ask for your hand.
But, if you don't mind me saying so, I'm, as it were, married already.
That's nothing. What's a dusty legal certificate compared with a love that fate decreed? Love laughs at lawyers. We'll fly away under the canopy of some friendly waterfall. Your hand, grant me your hand.
Mama, Father says you've got to. What is it now? Dashing about like a scolded cat, carrying on like a 3-year-old.
Nobody take you for 18. You need some maturity, my girl, some maturity and some good manners and some sophistication.
Mama, I didn't think.
That's the trouble. You never do. You're just like that Yupkin girl, heart like a split pea and brain like a gooey pudding. Why can't you learn from your betters, like your mother?
Oh, Mrs. Skovnik Dumanachowski, please don't oppose our happiness. Give us your blessing to our never-ending love.
You mean it's her?
Pronounce your sentence. Is it life or death?
You see, you daft creature. For your sake, our guest has gone down on his knee to ask for your hand, and you come rushing in like an inebriated Cossack. Serve you right if I refuse to give my consent.
Oh, Mama, I'll never do it again. Promise.
Oh, please, Your Excellency. Please forgive me.
What's up with you?
It's those merchants. I know they've been complaining. Trust me, on my honors, gentlemen, they're a gang of liars, cheating the public, giving short measure. And that story of the sergeant's widow was an absolute fabrication. She flogged herself.
Oh, I don't give a damn about her.
Oh, please, don't believe them. They're the biggest shit string here in Barcelona.
My darling, Mr. Klesikov has done us a great favor. He has gone down on his knee and asked to marry our Maria.
Marry our Maria? You're out of your mind, woman. Take no notice, Your Excellency. It's the time of year and takes her like this. You should see her mother.
I'd quite like to. No, but it's true. I want to marry Maria. You see, I love her.
It's unbelievable.
If you don't let me marry Maria, there's no telling what I'll do.
He means it. He really means it.
Give her to me. Give me to her. Give us to each other. Oh, if I shoot myself, you'll be prosecuted. But perhaps you don't think I'm good enough. You're trying to break it to me gently. All right, then I shall end my useless life.
Oh, no, you misunderstand, Your Excellency. Good enough for Maria. Too good for her, some might say. Oh, no, of course you have my consent. Do whatever you like. Oh, my poor head is whizzing round and round. I feel like a proper fool.
That's the happy couple, my dear.
Well, God bless you. And don't blame me. They're hugging. They're kissing. They're in love. They're engaged. I've done it! 3 cheers for the governor! They're turned up for the book.
The troika's ready?
Oh, yes, in a minute.
What? Where are you going off to?
Oh, great shame, must be off.
But where are you going to? Well, we were just talking about something. A wedding, wasn't it?
Ah, that's right. Well, I've got to split off for a minute. Oh, just for a day. To see my uncle. He's a rich old man. Very rich and very old. So I better hurry and ask his blessing.
Ah, to ask his blessing and tell him the good news. Well, we mustn't hold you up.
Be back before I've gone. Goodbye, Maria. I can't express what I'm feeling. Goodbye, my darling. And mother. Goodbye.
Have you got everything you need? You were a bitch with a cat.
Not anymore. Oh, yes, maybe.
How much will cover your expenses? You mustn't be out of pocket.
You lent me 200. Oh, no, 400. You made a mistake, didn't you? But I'll not take advantage of that. Let's have the same again. Make it around 800.
Of course, sir. Nice brand new notes.
There's nothing that brings more joy than a handful of crackling banknotes. As they say in St. Pete's.
Very true. Shall we proceed to your troika?
Goodbye, my soul's angel, Maria.
May I present you with this Persian traveling rug?
So kind.
Safe travels, Your Excellency.
Bless Your Excellency. Please accept, Your Excellency.
Thank you again, Your Excellency.
Get there soon, Your Excellency.
Auf Wiedersehen.
When can we expect you back, my son?
Tomorrow. Maybe the day after.
Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready. Bye-bye, Mario.
Oh, goodbye, Your Excellency.
Come on, you German clown, get on with it. Look at the boy, he's a good old fella. That's why I give him extra feed. He does extra work. And the young one too, he's a good horse, does his duty. But you just shake your ears like a fool. Come on. You can move when you want to. Giddy up, my three beauties. You're not a bad little team.
Faster, faster, the faster the finer. I love it. Of course I do. I'm a Russian. Give the horses their heads. Let him go and to hell with the world. Hey, Troika, you're no fancy carriage. You're a wooden thunderbolt. You're hacked and cut and fitted and shaped with an axe and chisel by some hairy peasant, beard down to his boots. Where are you racing to, Russia? My amazing Russia. What's the future that drives your mystery horses? Their manes riding in the wind, faster. One day, you'll make every country stand aside and stare as you pass. Every country, every empire. Hey, they'll all make way for you, Russia. They'll all make way for you.
Be frank, you never dreamed. 1 minute the wife of a mere police governor, and the next, hell's bells, to be married to such a dashing young devil.
What do you mean? I saw her coming a mile off. Of course, it's a surprise to you because of your unsophistication. You never mingled with the elite.
Oh, come on, Mother, I'm not that simple. Oh, but Anna, we were sparrows and now we're eagles. Now I know what a tadpole feels like when it suddenly changes into a great, big frog. And so those moaners and groaners with their whingy petitions had better watch out, cause it's ass-kicking time. Hey, get in here. I want a list of all the wines. Complain about me, would they? What a lovely little bunch of Judas Iscariots. Just you wait, you creepy crawly creatures, I'm gonna flatten a lot of you. I want a list of all the wines, get them all down. And then, when you finish the list, take a wander around the town and spread the news. Make sure everyone knows that God has blessed the governor. Tell him my daughter's getting married, not to some scruffy little clerk, but to a great man from Petersburg. A man who can do anything. Anything. Shout aloud in the streets, ring the church bells, and hop off. Oh, when I celebrate, I bloody celebrate. Give us a list and get going. Right. Well, my love, where do you feel like living now? Here or Petersburg?
Oh, Petersburg, of course. There's nothing here.
Well, Petersburg you say, and Petersburg it shall be. Though I'm quite fond of my own little patch. Well, Anna, it looks like this is goodbye to my days as police governor.
Well, I should hope so. Who cares about governors?
Anyway, I should get a top job out of this, don't you think, Anna? Because he's friends with all the merchants and, pops in and out of the palace, so that maybe, someday, eventually I might even get to be a general.
Oh, I should think so. You make a wonderful general, Anton.
Oh, it'd be a nice feeling being a general. I'll kneel and he'll place a sash on my shoulder. Which sash is better, Anna? The red or the blue?
Blue, of course.
You're an ambitious woman. I'd be happy with the red sash. You know, there's something about being a general. Anywhere you go, you've got special messengers galloping ahead of you, commandeering the finest billets, the choicest food and wine, and all those little captains and landowners and governors. None of them get to look in. Say you're sitting there with some prince? Exactly, you're sitting there scoffing, and some poor little provincial police governor has to stand and watch you. Oh, it must be grand to be a general.
Scoffing! Anton, we must get your vulgarity seen to. Our whole way of life is going to change, and you'll be changing your friends too. No more hearty judges stinking like kennels, no more shifty charity commissioners, and certainly no more German doctors. No, from now on, your acquaintances will all be persons of refinement, counts, archdukes, and so on. Oh, but Anton, I do worry about you. The things you come out with. Society people never use language.
What do you mean? There's no harm in words.
You could say what you like when you were just a governor. But in Petersburg, we'll be mixing with civilized people.
I've heard that they serve 2 fish dishes, carp Alinevsky, and eels in aspic, which are so delicious that your tongue curls up and away.
Fish! That's all you care about. I want our house to be the chicest in St. Petersburg. I always dreamed of a boudoir. My boudoir will be sprayed with so much French scent, you'll have to screw up your eyes when you walk in. Lovely!
Ah, there you are, my little sweethearts. And so, how are we today? And how's business? And so, you tea-swilling peddlers, you've lodged a complaint from the ancient order of cheats and chiselers. You put water in the vodka, sand in the sugar, and toenails in the brawn. And you complain about me. Aha, you thought we'll get him put away. Well, now we'll sodding well see who's put away. Listen, insects, you know that inspector you went crawling to? Well, he's going to marry my daughter. Yes, what have you got to say to that? I am going to show you. You sign a contract with the government for army uniforms, clear a cool 100,000 by using rotten cloth, offer me 0.2%, and expect me to be grateful? Have you heard of Siberia? And you push out your ability as if you're proud of it, as if you're as good as an aristocrat. Well, you're not. Because an aristocrat, they learn something. They've been flogging them at school, and they end up knowing something useful. But you, first day at work, your master beats you because you don't know how to swindle. You're just a boy. You don't know the Lord's Prayer, do you? But you know how to give short measure, don't you? And you! If you're going to put on airs, you'd better learn about weights and measures, you'd better learn not to pester important people with bills, and you'd better learn to grovel.
We are all guilty, Your Excellency.
We promise never to do it again.
Please forgive us.
Forgive you, is it? I know why you're all whining to me now, because I've got a lot of you by the short and curly because I've won. But if this had gone differently, you'd have trampled me down to the mud and smashed me over the head with a tree trunk.
Please don't ruin us, Your Excellency.
Oh, don't ruin us. Don't ruin us, is it? Well, may God forgive you. I won't. But I'm not a man to bear a grudge. Only look out. Watch out. As your governor, I would not be offended if you were to congratulate me on my daughter's wedding. A tangible congratulations, you understand? And not just second-hand samovar and a couple of pounds of salted reindeer. Right, now get out of here. And God be with you.
Has the goddess fortune showered you with herrings, as my grandmother used to say?
Tremendously pleased, absolutely delighted, Anna. Maria.
My congratulations, young Anton. May the good Lord preserve your life and protect you from all terrible dangers, and grant you a multitude of unafflicted grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Anna. Maria.
Congratulations, old man. We just popped around to wish all the best to the happy couple. Yes, may all their troubles be little ones, eh?
We're absolutely transported with delight, my dear. Absolutely transported.
Congratulations all around!
Anton, I just wanted to say, congratulations, it's really wonderful.
Oh, Miss Svosnik-Demuchinovsky.
Oh, Miss Svosnik-Demuchinovsky. Maria, congratulations all around. You'll be a fine lady now and wear a gown of gold and eat the most wonderful soup and just have a really amusing life.
Maria, I hope you'll be very happy and rich with a whole stack of money and a baby boy so tiny he can fit in your hand. Yes, he'll be a real bouncing baby with a great big voice like this.
Congratulations, Anna. I'm so happy for you. A little bird told me Anton's daughter is going to be married. Good heavens, I said to myself. So I said to Luca, listen, Luca, Anna's had such a stroke of luck. I'm so pleased. I want to dash around and give her a kiss. I know she always wanted her daughter to marry well. It must be fate, I said. I was overjoyed. I couldn't utter. Oh, I was crying with happiness, sobbing my heart out. So Luca asked, what are you crying about? I don't know, I said. The tears just came bursting out.
Oh, please, ladies and gentlemen, take a seat. Bring us some more chairs.
Well, sir, I think congratulations are in order.
Very kind, very kind.
I say, Anton, how did you clinch it?
Well, it was extraordinary. He proposed of his own accord, just like that.
But he did it with so much tact and respect. He phrased it all so beautifully. He said, Anna, may I call you Anna? Your virtues enchant me. But Mama, that's enough from you. He's such a lovely, well-brought-up gentleman, a man of principle, and so sincere. He said, Anna, believe me, life means nothing to me, but I'm glad that I was born because now I have met you. But Mama, that's what he was saying to me. Nonsense, Mary, you ignoramus. He spoke so beautifully, a bit like that big monk from Georgia. And I wanted to say, we're just an ordinary family, you know. But he fell on his knees and said in a lovely, deep voice, Anna, if you don't respond to my feelings, then life means nothing to me. I shall have to end my life in the only possible way, by death. But Mama, he was saying all of that about me. Well, of course it was all about you. I'm not saying it wasn't.
I was scared stiff. I don't mind admitting. He kept on saying it. I'll hang myself. I'll hang myself.
Amazing, amazing.
What a story. But luckily fate intervened.
Not fate, old man. Fate is blind. It's just what our governor deserved for all he's done for this town. They do say the biggest pigs have the best luck.
Look, Anton, that pup you wanted, you can have him, all right?
Thanks, but I haven't got time for dogs now.
Well, later, I'm sure we can find a dog that suits you.
You can't imagine how thrilled I am about your good luck, Anna. Oh yes, we were just wondering, where is your distinguished guest? I've heard he's whizzed off.
Coughed off, called off for a day or two, you know.
To see his uncle, break the good news and ask for his blessing.
Yeah, to ask for his blessing. But he'll be back tomorrow. Ah!
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you. Gesundheit.
Thanks, but he'll be back tomorrow. Ah!
Bless
Good health, Your Excellency.
Bless you.
Live 100 years and win a sack of gold.
Bless you.
God let you live 1,600 years.
Bless you.
Long may you rot.
Bless you. Go to hell. Gesundheit.
Many thanks, my friends, and the same to you.
Of course, we'll be moving to Petersburg. For the atmosphere more than anything. It's so provincial here. And of course, they'll probably make Anton a general.
Well, gentlemen, I'll admit I wouldn't mind being a general.
God knows I hope they make you one.
God works in mysterious ways.
Won't be a big fish in a little pond, eh? You'll be
A big fish in a big pond.
Make him a general. It's like putting a saddle on a cow. There's better men in this room who aren't generals yet.
I suppose he could make general. He's always acted like one. Ah, but you won't forget your old friends, will you, Anton?
And you'll lend us a hand if there's ever any trouble, won't you?
I'm sending my son to Petersburg next year, putting him in for government service, you know. I was wondering if you could keep an eye out for him, give him a leg up, you know?
Yeah, I'd be very happy to do that.
Oh yes, Anton, you're very handy with your promises. You won't have time for that sort of thing. Now don't start making promises to everyone who asks.
You're right, my dear. One good turn, you know.
I know, all right. But you don't want to start doing favors for a lot of nobodies.
You see what she thinks of us.
Oh, she's always been like that. You know what they say. Give a whore your old hat, and she'll grab your tiara.
Ladies and gentlemen, amazing news! I don't know how. It's such a shock. None of us ever dreamed. Well, I was just going home when I came across a letter from that inspector we were showing around town. I looked at the address and it said Post Office Street. I was dumbfounded. Well, I thought he's found something wrong in the work of my post office and is reporting it to the authorities. So I opened it.
How could you do that?
I don't know. As I stood there, dumbfounded, I seemed to hear a supernatural voice telling me to open the letter. But of course, I was horrified at the very idea. So I placed the letter down on the table and began to walk away for a glass of tea. But something seemed to pull me back. I heard a voice in my right ear saying, "Don't open it." And a voice in my left ear saying, "Come on, open it." One voice said, "Don't open it. If you do, you're as dead as a boiled chicken." The other one said, "Don't be daft. If you don't, you're as dead as a dumpling." My hands felt as if they were metal being attracted by some giant magnet. I stood there, dumbfounded, for 10 whole minutes. But in the end, I opened it.
How dare you!
I don't know. I've never been so horrified in my life. I drew the curtains, locked the door, and plugged the lock with a bit of chewed up newspaper. And the samovar was boiling. And I picked up the envelope, and as I steamed it open, icy shivers ran up and down my back. And my front as well. Hot and cold shivers running down my uniform. My brain went all soggy. I didn't know where I was. My teeth were chattering so hard that it was a whole hour before I could read the letter.
But how could you interfere with the official correspondence of such an important person?
But that's just it. He's not important and he's not a person. He's not from the government and he's not an inspector.
All right. Since you know so much, who is he?
He's nothing at all. God knows who he is.
What do you mean? Don't speak to him like that. I'm putting you under arrest.
You what? You?
Yes, me.
You can't do that.
Don't you know that he's going to marry my daughter so that I will be an important person and you will be packed off to Siberia?
Oh, Siberia's a long way from home, as they say in the post office. But I could read the letter. Would you all like that? Well, it's addressed to Trepishkin, journalist, Post Office Street, St. Petersburg, and it says, "My dear Trepishkin, in haste to let you know what I've been up to. I got taken to the cleaners at Kars by an infantry captain and finally ended up here. The innkeeper wanted me thrown in jail, but thanks to my Petersburg clothes and looks, this whole godforsaken town mistook me for a government inspector. Now I'm living in the governor's house, having a good time, and flirting like the devil with his wife and his daughter. My only problem is which one to pounce on first. The mother, I think, because she seems ready for anything. Remember how that baker took me by the collar and threw me in the gutter because I ate all those pies and told him to put them down on Queen Victoria's account? Well, times have changed. They've all been greasing my palm. But of course, we always call it a loan. You've never seen such ridiculous people. You'd laugh yourself sick. They make great characters for your funny articles. Take the governor here. He's as thick as a brick."
Impossible. You're making that up as you go along.
All right, look.
Thick as a brick. It's absurd. You wrote this yourself.
I couldn't write this.
Read some more. Read some more.
Thick as a brick.
Oh, damn it. You don't keep reading that bit. It's bad enough without that.
Thick as a brick. And the postmaster's a very nice man. Oh, can't read this part here.
Go on, read it.
Oh, why bother?
It has to be read, read the whole damn lot.
Allow me. The postmaster looks and smells like an alcoholic night watchman with spots.
He needs a good punch in the nose, that's all.
As for the charity commissioner,
The bastard. What's the matter?
there's sort of a smudge.
Oh, let me see it. I've got very keen eyesight.
No, there's only a few lines smudgy.
Let me see it.
I'll do it after the sentence is perfectly clear.
Oh, no, you don't. Read every word. Let's have it all.
Fine. That's where I got to. You read it.
No.
Read the smudge! Read the smudge!
The charity commissioner looked...
Just like a pig in a bow tie. I don't think that's funny. Whoever saw a pig in a bow tie? The school superintendent always smells of onions.
I have never placed an onion in my mouth.
Oh, thank God there's nothing about me anyway. While the judge... There you are. No, I think this letter's awfully long and boring. Why bother to read all that rubbish?
Keep reading. Carry on.
While the judge is very, very mauvais ton. A French expression, you know. Mauvais ton could mean anything. I don't care if it means stupid, but it could be something worse. On the whole, though, they're generous, warm-hearted people. I think I'll follow your example and go in for literature. Life's very dull if you don't have a hobby, so I think I'll write a novel or a play or something. Drop me a line in Saratov, your dear friend, Ivan Klestikov.
Oh dear, how embarrassing.
Murdered me. He's murdered me. It's the end. It's the end of everything. I can't see anything. They aren't faces anymore. They're snouts. Pig snouts. Fetch it back. Fetch it back here.
How can we be getting the fastest troika in town?
It's really terribly awkward.
Oh my God, I lent him 300 rubles. Me too, 300 rubles.
Oh, and 300 from me.
Dobchinsky and I gave him 65 between us.
But how could we do it? How could we make such a blunder?
How could I do it? How? I've been a damn fool. 30 years in local government and not one merchant, not one contractor ever got the better of me. They went fishing for me, sure, but their hooks always ended up stuck through their own tongues. I fooled 3 senior governors in succession. Not that senior governors know what goes on.
But Anton, it can't be true. I mean, Mary's his fiancé.
A fiancé? Well, don't bring that silly word in my face. He's fiancéed off, hasn't he? Oh, roll up. All good Christians, the entire population of the world, roll up. See, the biggest fool in the universe. Oh, you fat-faced idiot! To mistake that dim-witted little nothing for an important official. Now he's speeding across the landscape, troika bells ringing. Laugh at me. Oh, but that's not all. Some scribbler will write a comedy about it. That's what hurts. Open it all in. My position, my struggles will show no mercy. Everyone will laugh and clap and... Oh, what are you laughing at? You're laughing at yourselves. These so-called writers, dangerous liberals, and inky thugs. I'd like to tie them to a reef knot, grind them into flour, and send them to a devil for a lining for his hat. What? I can't think. Madness is a flogging from God, as my old nurse used to say. But how did this idea of a government inspector crawl into my brain? In the beginning, there was nothing. And then all of a sudden, everyone was saying it. Inspector! Government inspector! The inspectors arrived! Now! Who was it that said that that man was the government inspector? Who was it?
For the life of me, I can't remember. It came over us like a fog from hell. There was a letter.
Yes, a letter, yesterday morning, and you called us.
I know that, but who said he was the one?
Who said it first?
They did.
It was those two.
It was me. I didn't think.
I did nothing.
Of course it was them. They came sprinting over from the inn, babbling away. He's here, he's arrived, he pays no money.
It would be you two, wouldn't it? The town gossips, the local liars.
To hell with you and your inspector.
You chubby little snoopers, blundering about creating panic. You dead blabbermouths.
Hooligans. Imbeciles. Pot-bellied shrimp.
Alcoholic piglets.
It wasn't me. It was Dobchinsky.
No, Dobchinsky.
Honestly, Dobchinsky, it was your stomach.
The government inspector has arrived from St. Petersburg with orders from the Tsar. He's staying at the inn, and he wants to see all of you there. Immediately.